Hey ladies, so today we're going to mix it up a little bit. You guys all know I'm an entrepreneur, and I know that a lot of the people that are following me are also female entrepreneurs. And this week I've had some things happen, and let's just say it can be crazy as an entrepreneur, right? A lot of us think that we need to put this beautiful highlight reel out there, and people do it on Facebook all the time, or social media, like my life is perfect, my business is great, I'm making so much money. And so much of that, you guys, I've seen is not accurate information. So I also believe in transparency with motivation and excitement, but also with a real paycheck. You know what? As an entrepreneur, we work for ourselves, right? And some of you ladies maybe strictly do your own business. And maybe you work a full time job like myself, and you have a business alongside of it. And either way, every day can be a real challenge, right? But let's just be honest. Thank God that we have the ability and we're choosing to be entrepreneurs so that we can have the fleet freedom and flexibility, maybe that we want someday, so that we can have that supplemental income that we so need or want. Because let's be honest, the American families and individuals, we're struggling, right? We need supplemental income on top of a full time job, a lot of us. But today we're talking mindset because it can really mess with you. If you are an entrepreneur, if you've been doing it for more than a week, you know that it gets in your head, right? And a lot of the time, I have found that we get into our head too deep, we get stuck. And a lot of what I work with on coaching is women who are stuck. And maybe it's in your business, maybe it's in your mindset, but mindset goes hand in hand with everyday living, but it also goes hand in hand with being an entrepreneur. So this, I'm just going to share a little story. Um, I was on the struggle bus this week, actually. I actually reached out via text to two of my mentors in a group text. And I said, ladies, something's going on. The devil is like messing with me. I am in my head right now. And I was struggling like hard. It's not easy being an entrepreneur, right? It is not easy. And we have to talk ourselves out of that crap. And we can feel those things, but we have to shift, right? And it's really funny how God works, and it's really annoying how the devil works. So, when you're coming to something good, when you are moving forward, that's when he gets in there and he tries to take you down. And I joked with them because a lot of us are women here, right? I said, I am sad for no reason. I am snarky. I talked to my sister. She's like, you're kind of snarky this week. Like, and I'm like, and I don't have PMS this week. So it's not even that. I can't even say, well, I'm menopausal or I'm perimenopausal or I'm ovulating this week or I have my period coming. Like it wasn't any of that. It's none of it. It is just being an entrepreneur, you guys, is a mind game. But here's what happened. So remember I said the devil gets in there and he knows when you're coming to something good, right? And so what had happened a couple of weeks prior is I got this idea to take my coaching that I do because I'm an entrepreneur. I help people live healthy. I help people remove toxins in their home. I help people that are looking to make supplemental income. But what I was doing during this last couple of weeks was I was thinking, it just came to me there again. Listen to those taps on your shoulder, you guys. When you get a tap that is positive, go with it. If you get a nasty feeling about it, don't listen to that because it's the devil probably trying to get up in there and mess with your head. If there's no peace about it, it is not from God. It's not. And I'm not saying that your life is going to be all roses and sunshine and beautiful and amazing when you're a Christian and God's going to give you all amazing things. That's not the case. Let's be honest. So what was going on a couple of weeks prior to is I had created some free stuff for female entrepreneurs. So free audios, free PDFs, I started a course for women in my mind. I haven't shown it out there, but I know what I'm doing to get it going, right? I am working towards the things. I haven't marketed it yet, but it's in process and it's not going to take long. It's very close. And I crap you not, it was when I was almost ready to put it out there and market it a little bit. That's the same time that the devil got into my head and started messing with me. So, those of you who are entrepreneurs, it is not easy all the time. It is really not. I watched a video one night this last week as well. And the weirdest thing happened there again, sharing some vulnerability here, because being a Christian, it can really get in your head. And I was very much looking forward to watching this video. And the weirdest thing happened as I was watching. Water was coming out my eyeballs. I was crying, not like sobbing, sad, 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 but like sad because I wasn't in the place that I wanted to be, right? And there's a lot of women out here, entrepreneurs. There's a lot of female entrepreneurs that are watching this video. And maybe that's you right now. Maybe you're not where you want to be in your business. Maybe you're not where you want to be financially because your business isn't going as fast. And I know there's a lot of you who are out there and making a lot of money and seemingly doing amazing things. And that's great. But there's a lot of women out there that are faking it. Faking it till you making it is not good strategy. It's not. You guys, be realistic, be authentic with who you are and with a paycheck. Show your potential clients and not your potential clients, show your potential business partners. If you're recruiting to show an income, show that income. Don't just talk the talk and walk the walk. And there are things out there that you don't have to do to put out money to start. I've seen that a lot lately. So, anyway, the mindset is huge. Grab some of the freebies that are out there that I have for female entrepreneurs because mindset is huge. The one that I talked about just recently, I haven't launched it yet. That'll be just a quick course for people to take that are looking to, because let's face it, you guys, every day, this is part of what I did that night as I was crying a little bit. Tears were streaming down the face, and these thoughts, these evil thoughts, were coming into my head. And they were thoughts like, how come I'm not doing this the way that they are? How come they're doing so good? And I was very happy for them, no doubt, but also jealous, which is not normal behavior for me. I don't get jealous. I think that we all need to be authentic to who we are. And I am just me. And I don't mean just, I'm an amazing woman. I'm an amazing leader. I'm an amazing, all the things. I'm a great woman. But when I say just, I mean like seriously, what am I doing that's not enough, right? And then there the mind started. What am I doing that's not enough? Why are they doing this and doing it so well? And I've done that and I've done this and what's going on? And like, come on, God, let's go. Come on. Why? And then pretty soon my head is just whoo. And then tears were streaming. And then it was interesting because when the video was over, I stopped and I didn't get up. And, before, if I watched something like that, then I'd start planning and making a goal and things like that. And I cried and I prayed because I knew that God was listening, but I also knew that I needed help. Whatever thing I need to break through, I need to push through. And every day as an entrepreneur, there can be tiny little things or there can be really big things, right? So what I did that night is I sat there and I just thought about what I need to do because you guys, I'm a wellness coach. I have to have my crap together, right? And it's not going to be perfect all the time. I'm going to screw up. There's going to be little gnats flying by when I'm doing a video. I talk too much with my hands. But you guys, I'm a passionate, enthusiastic woman. And I know that we need to be authentic to who we are. And the right people in my path will come because of who I am, because of the value that I'm providing. And all of these thoughts that night had spun into my head, and that was the devil getting on me because he knew I was working on something that could really benefit female entrepreneurs and take them forward in their business. And maybe it's not necessarily in their business because you guys, business is mindset. Plain and simple. When you have your own business, when you're an entrepreneur, it's all mindset. You have to stay connected to good things, positive things. You have to get out and network or, do virtual networking or whatever that looks like for you. But podcasts are really good. Good YouTube videos, positive, uplifting things that make you feel good, but don't just make you feel good, but challenge you to move forward. Challenge you to get out of your head like, okay, what do I need to do when this happens? Because, Don was just talking about that, and I didn't know that that was a thing, but you might not be going through that right now, but it's going to happen someday down the road. You're going to be struggling really hard in something, and maybe it's something I said. Maybe it's something I led you to. Maybe it's one of the services I provide. Maybe it's something completely different. Maybe it's something you hear in church. But it's a combination of all of those things. A good book, a thing that I needed to do. So that night, as I said, I prayed and I sat there and I'm like, okay, God, what is the block here? What am I doing? And what is it that you need from me? And you're a strong Christian. And when you just give it to him, I have said multiple times, if God wanted this, and sometimes that can be a negative thing. Like if God wanted this to work, he would be, it would be doing what it's supposed to be doing. I would be where I want to be. You know what, though? He doesn't promise that to any of us. Just because we have a dream, just because we take action and steps forward to that dream, doesn't mean it's going to happen in our timing, doesn't always mean it's going to happen. Let's look at relationships. Let's look at budgets. Let's look at all the things. Do all your dreams come true? If they do, no, they don't. Let's be honest. Not all of our dreams come true. Sometimes life kicks us in the butt and knocks us down, and we take the Holy Grail and we go down in the pits and we're down there. But sometimes those dreams come true, and sometimes they don't. And when you have a hard stop, that's almost easier, right? It's easier because like there's a hard line in the sand, there's a hard stop. God slammed the door, you found out this, you can't move forward, boom, done. But when it's a goal and a dream and you keep moving and you're a little bit forward and then you fall back and you go a little bit forward and fall back. It's like a yo-yo, right? Up and down, or like a hamster on a wheel. You're going, and then they fall kind of, and then they have to get going again. It's ridiculous, you guys. It's a mindset every single day. So if you know you're in the right space with your business, if you know that you are there and whatever your value is for other people, you're good. But when you come to a place and you're like, okay, God, you know what? I've been doing this. And it's not at first, it might be like, okay, God, I've been doing this. What's wrong? What am I missing? What am I lacking? Show me what I need to do, blah, blah, blah. And you try to figure it out. You try to figure it out. You're trying to do this and you're trying to do this and you're doing this, all these things, right? But you're trying to control all of it. And while you have to take the steps forward, you have to take the action forward. You have to trust the timing. There it is. I told you. Entrepreneurship. I'm going to keep that in this video. Entrepreneurship isn't always beautiful and amazing. There was a gnat that just blew by my face and I went like this. Anyway, I'm going to leave that in because guess what? That is life. It is not all beautiful and sunshine and roses. It is hard sometimes. And when you start asking God instead of in a pissy way, like, okay, what am I doing? Like, why am I even doing this? Or like, what do you want from me? Because sometimes that can come out, right? What do you want from me, God? Like, I've been doing everything that I think that I know. I've been doing everything seemingly right. People love me. People are drawn to me. Why is my business not going forward? Or why is my income not improving? Or why can't I get this crap out of my head that I know that I need to get out of my head? Or what am I doing? Or what am I not doing that I need to do, right? Don't tell me you're not thinking some of these things. As an entrepreneur, that's what we think about sometimes, because we have a lot of things that we want to do. But sometimes we just need to let go, you guys. Not stop working unless you know that this isn't what you need to do. And that's between you and God, or that's between you and your husband, or whatever that looks like. But when you know you're in the right place and it's not working at all, maybe right now, or it's not working as quickly as you'd like it to, it's a lot harder to know what to do or what not to do, right? And that's where the mindset, we have to get into the mindset. Like if I could take my camera right now and just like all around my house, I have positive affirmations in my bathroom. I have positive affirmations on my phone. I have positive affirmations on my refrigerator. And I also have truth of what scripture says for entrepreneurs, truth of what scripture says for the promises that he provides based on his grace, his blessings, and his timing. And that's a hard one. And that's one that I think a lot of us as Christian entrepreneurs struggle with. Like, okay, God, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing this. I know that this is a great thing for other women. What's going on? Why isn't it working? What am I doing? Or maybe you work with clients that are men and maybe you're not a coach. Maybe you have a brick and mortar business, whatever that looks like. Why aren't customers shopping in my store? Why don't they come to me? Why is the restaurant quiet right now? It doesn't make sense. Like we have an amazing menu and where are the customers? You know, all of these things can play tricks and minds and games with your head. And you have to get into the right mindset. It is a daily mindset and a monthly mindset. And then it's, you know, especially if you have a goal, right? If you have a goal with a deadline, because they say, right? And I probably rolled my eyes just now, because they say it's not a goal unless there's a deadline on it. Everybody says that. Okay, not everybody, but a lot of people say that. And I truly believe that, but there's a lot more pressure on it, especially when you that goal and you've put that deadline on it multiple times, and then you keep pushing the deadline out and nothing is happening and you're stuck and blah, blah, blah. It's really easy to get into your head, right? So what do? Shift. Keep shifting. If it's 5 times a day, if it's every morning, what are you feeding yourself mentally, professionally? Who are you hanging out with? How much time you spend with that big screen on the big wall? How much time are you taking and doing scrolling on social media? It's a waste. And even if you've got free time because things are going decent in your business or you really don't have a project to work on, doesn't mean we should be spending hours on the phone scrolling, because you know what happens to our mindset when we go out to that environment? It's negative. Let's be honest. Is the news positive? No. Is most of social media positive? No. And it's fine to detach, and we have to do that sometimes and just shut it off, watch a movie, whatever the case. But then you need to get into something that's positive, because now you have to take the negativity that you've just sucked in your head and it goes into your heart and into your mind. And then you have to wash that out right with something. So when you are around people, when you are listening to things, do it in a way that it is a positive experience for you and for those around you. Because guess what? If you've got people, I live by myself. My cat doesn't care if I'm in a pissy mood. Well, she maybe does because I'm not as cuddly or whatever. Cats don't cuddle. She's not that cuddly. But it doesn't matter if other people are seeing you being pissy because you've chosen, pardon my French, I'm a Christian and I swear, I'm very much better than I used to be. And I'm much better. See, practice makes perfect, you guys. And there's no perfection here. I am just authentically me. I am amazingly authentically me. That's probably one of my positive affirmations on my wall. And today I'm talking a lot about me instead of like what this can do for you. But you guys have to relate to me, or I can relate to you somehow. I'm talking about experiences I have had and the reason behind some of the things that I provide value in. You know, I've already got some free audios, some free PDFs for entrepreneur women that get into their mindset. You know, maybe they're struggling with this and they need this, and I've got things already out there for free for that. And I also have a course that would help you personally, which in turn helps you professionally. Because let's be honest, we do not grow our business forward unless we as people, individual, you're continuing to grow forward. I remember somebody say to me one time, or maybe challenge me. I guess I don't remember where it came from, where their intention came from, but they said, you're always trying to do better or like improve yourself. Like, aren't you happy with who you are? And at first, at that time in my life, that was years and years and years ago. Oh gosh, I remember who asked me. And I don't think it came from a negative, like, why aren't you just content with who you are? I think it came from like, why do you want more all the time when you can be happy where you're at and you're an amazing person? And I'm like, I am happy with where I'm at as a person. And they weren't talking about financially or who I was with or anything like that. It was with me. I wanted more for myself. I wanted to improve who I am as a person, as a woman, as a mom, as a Christian, as a now grandma. And that wasn't in the cards back then, because like I said, it was years and years ago. But I want to continue to grow myself every day. And that's a huge part of being an entrepreneur. And when like, remember I said earlier, you get to the point potentially in your relationship with life and the world and your faith, whether it's God or whatever, and you might question in a snarky way, like I used to, like, what else do I need to do, God? Because why isn't this working? And, but now when that happens and the tears start coming, because they do sometimes, because I'm not perfectly happy with where I am, even though I'm content with where I am, I know what my goals are for my life, and it's not the finances, it's the freedom and the flexibility that come with those finances. Can you hear me, ladies? Because that's why we are entrepreneurs. It's a big thing. Yeah, the money is nice and it will be nice. But when you're in a place where you know that you want more income because of what it can give to you and to your family in the way of your freedom, that's a big deal. It's a big deal for me. The older I get, and a lot of women that I talk to, the older they get, the more important it is. And I've talked to men too that feel the same way. The more important it is to spend time with those people that we love. And it's tough when you can't. And we have choices and we have obligations. And we have to go with the obligations first, most of the time. And so at some point, though, the question, instead of being in a snarky way to God, like, why isn't this working? It can be, okay, God, what else do I need? What is missing? Who can I help? What can I do to provide value? How can I help somebody? Where are the women that want help? That's been one I was like mad before, because I've talked to so many women that want help, that say they want help, that say they want to do this and say they want to do that and say, but they won't even start. And that used to piss me off, because I am a woman of my word. And I will do whatever it takes. I'm not going to push through walls if I have a goal. And I'm not one of those like competitive people, but I will do what I say I'm going to do. And if I know that I need more income, if I know that I need to get my head out of my booty because it's in a bad space, if I know that I have to get up off the couch because I got broken down by somebody, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I'm going to tell my friends and my family that. And if I'm looking for things that are a way to make an income because I need to do something, and then I tell them, yes, I'm going to, I follow through. So it was really, really, and it still is, you guys, it is so hard for me because the culture has changed in the last few years. People do not follow through like they used to. And that has been a huge challenge for me. And I just know that God is going to bless me. And that comes from practicing faith. God is going to bless me with the right women in my path that do want more, that are following through, that want to build an income, that want to get the coaching, that follow through and do it for themselves, whether it's the self-paced coaching that they're looking for, where they can take and do 6 weeks of self-paced action, or if it's personalized coaching where they get to work one-on-one or in a small group with me. So either way, they have access. And those are things of huge value to people. And there's a service fee for some of it. Some of it's free though, you guys. And if that's where people want to start, that's cool. But I'm not one to just wait around forever. And I'm looking for women that aren't looking to just wait around forever either. Like, oh gosh, I need this. Or like, they get to be this 45-year-old person and now all of a sudden retirement doesn't look that far away, right? You guys, it's really scary. Like, and if you work a full-time job and you know what your social security is going to be later, and it's like, ugh, it is stressful. It can put a huge stress on you because you know what's coming and you know something has to change. And the women that want that change will make it happen. They will find a way, they will make a way, they will talk to the people that are doing it. And even if they're not at the successful level that they want to be, doesn't mean they're not moving forward. And those women can work together to move forward in whatever that looks like. So, you guys, find the people, grab onto the resources that fill you up. Talk to people, influential people, but get out of your head. And if you come to a movie or you come to a video or podcast and you just feel this, like this is really speaking to you, but you're streaming tears or even just have little tears in your eyes, there's a reason for that, you guys. Stop and ask God, what is it that I need to do? Please remove the blocks that are here because there's something going on that is hindering my success, that is hindering where I want to be, that is hindering who I can help, that is hindering like where do you want me to go, God? What do you want me to do? You can't stop moving, but detach when you need to. Take the breaks that you need to, but continue to move forward. And that's not just in your business, that's in your life. Because if you stop, you're not moving anywhere. You're not going forward. If you've been hurt by somebody, you're not just going to stay there. But that's a choice. You get to choose, just like in your business. You get to choose if you're moving forward or not. And it's not going to come on your timing, and it's not going to come when you want it or how you want it, probably in the form that you want it, or maybe you don't even know. Maybe you haven't thought about a way, like, how can I do this? And some of you ladies aren't even entrepreneurs at this point, but it's something that's spun in your head. You guys, there are sources out there that you can help. Do what you're passionate about, do what makes you happy, do what provides an income so that you can have the freedom and the flexibility that you want at a place when you want it. And take up on the resources, you guys. There's all kinds of resources out there that can feed your mind in a very positive way so that when you do come to that place that you're stuck or that you are like depressed or snarky because of this or that. And we're going to talk about that too in another video about the snarky. And some of the triggers that happen. I'm going to talk about that another way for different people, for women that have really been hurt in a relationship and coming back out of that, even a year or 2 or 3 years later, and some of the things that have happened and that can happen to you. And you don't have to stay stuck in those spaces. So have an amazing, amazing week, you guys. I hope you're having a great fall. It's starting to feel like it now. Get out and do what makes you happy. Enjoy the things that you need to do. And I'm looking forward to working with the women that want help. But I'm also so excited that you're here. And even if you're not ready for any of the services that I have, if there's any kind of value that you guys are getting out of this or where I'm sending you to different things, I'm so glad you're here.